great disposition, and she was very highly efficient, and she did a wonderful job for New Milford Hospital in Connecticut. So when she crossed over, I saw her in the astral world, and that means the world that's the rest of the universe. The stuff between galaxies, the stuff between planets, the stuff between the air molecules. Sometimes you can see it because there's a certain glow, and sometimes you think, am I seeing things against the wall? No, you're seeing your former pussycat or puppy dog or a friend or a relative or an angel floating by. The astral world is most of the universe, and there are different levels to the astral world, which we may or may not get to today. But I saw her, and she looked awful. And people think that, especially New Agers, and I don't love that term, but it describes certain people who think you just need to wish it and it becomes so, or you're not thinking positive enough. Honey, if I was not thinking positive enough, I don't know what I'd have done. But if all it took was a good wish, we'd own an island in Hawaii, and that's where we would be living. So it takes more than good wishes. You have to involve several issues, including your own karma and the karma of others around you, because you are not on this island alone. So when I saw Mary for the first time, I was so sad because she had deteriorated so horribly, and she was just now adjusting to the astral world. Now, she and I spoke. She used to watch tapes of my show because I would send them up there to her, my TV show, and she would go to the Catholic Church occasionally because she was raised Catholic. But as she went along, that became less important in understanding the universe and the realities of the universe and the limitations of physical understandings. So she became more and more tuned into dreams and her understandings of how cycles went. She watched them with her own marriage and her friends and her own life, and was very comfortable with finally crossing over. I say crossing over, some people say dying, but dying can give an improper understanding of the procedure. Again, if you take your clothes off and get into the shower, it's still you. So if you change outfits, it's still you. However, when I've seen her subsequently, and I was just telling my daughter that I saw her own parents with my father the other night in meditation, and I saw Mary, and she looked fabulous. She looked like the old Mary. She was annoyingly slender with a perfect shape and a totally flat tummy, and naturally straight hair, and then after her cancer treatments it came back curly, and it was slightly longer than normally she had it. She didn't need her glasses anymore, and she looked bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and funny, and she turned around and pointed to my father and my daughter's birth parents and my uncle and several other people. And I laughed because I said, oh, look, you're all together. She said, of course. And it was just a delight to see her looking that great and being that bouncy. And when you are comfortable and understand the astral world, and that you gain your sanity and you gain your health back, and you can look any age that you choose. She sort of looked ageless. Mary and several of my friends look much younger than they really were. And so I'll say she looked 30 because I remember her 30 when she was 30 as well. And the idea is that you look the age that you're comfortable with. And I've said to my daughter's parents, when I see them in meditation, the last time I saw them, they looked like they were in their 20s. I said, you look any younger, I won't recognize you anymore. And they laughed. So you can see people once you allow yourself to drop the suppositions of the physical world and what other people think you should be seeing and doing, and you relax and you're calm and you're comfortable. And if you meditate, you can see them with your eyes closed. And if you're staring at, say, a blank wall, they can appear as if they're filmy, and sometimes they can appear as if they're standing right in front of you in physical body. So it's different every time. It's different with every person. And the more comfortable and relaxed you are, the more clear your visions will be. So you can go through a horror like Mary went through for 12 years of cancer and treatments and everybody else's expectations, or you can fight it, or you can be comfortable with it and know that it's part of your process. And know that when you finally do cross over, that's when real life starts. You don't have any physical limitations. You're not hot, you're not cold, you're not thirsty, you're not hungry, you're not unhappy, unless you've been a mean person, and then you go to a level of the astral world that you're not going to be happy in, because it's the vibration that you created on this earth, and you give what you get what you give. And so Mary is in a happy vibration with friends and family. So when you lose someone, you don't really lose them, because they come back and they visit you. Yes, you can't pick up the phone. Yes, you can't do lunch, but you can see them in a more intimate, more comfortable, more safe for them, because they've already hit the drama of how they're crossing over, a more delightful and everlasting way, because you're supposed to wait about 100 years before you reincarnate. Most people do. The hauntings occur when people are afraid of crossing over because they don't want to face what they created in life. So, or they're connected to certain people and they want to watch out for them, and then you don't refer it to as a haunting, you refer to it as company. But people generally wait 100 years so that they're not coming back and watching the same television shows, or have the same people on the same block, or listening to the same politics, because they have to help recreate a new identity for their new lives, and they have to let the old life go. When you see people who seem to be repeating the same behavior, whether it's in a family or whether it's in a religious community or a country where they're all still killing each other over and over and over again, those are people who leave one body, wait a couple of days, and pop into another body. They haven't let go of the problems of the life they just left. They haven't let go of the drama. They haven't let go of the anger and the hatreds that humans create for each other. So when you wait at least 100 years, most of the time, Belle wants to jump up here with us, most of the time, a lot of that drama has passed, and they let themselves be in the new era, ERA, of existence. Places like the Middle East have been fighting each other for thousands of years. And reincarnation is the cycle that humans and animals go through to complete their lessons. And some people, if they're filled with hatreds, like a lot of the people in the Middle East, they love the drama of hating somebody else, hating another religion, hating women, and they just can't wait to come back and do it all over again. They are so blocked and so stressed and so distorted in their perspectives that they get trapped in the cycle of back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and you wonder why it doesn't clear up. But then you get an understanding of why we have dastardly, earth-changing volcanic eruptions and earthquakes, because everything must come to an end. And the way it comes to an end, sadly, instead of people learning lessons, the earth changes so that that existence no longer is in play. And you have to deal with new situations on a planet, whether it's Earth or somewhere else. So we are going to take another short break, and we're going to come back and continue with Earth changes and how they affect you. Stay with us for Metaphysically Speaking.